There's multiple things that the pilots are dealing with on a daily basis, nightly basis. Most of the pilots have now seen the fire during the day as well as at the night, so they can function. They know where the hazards are. There's a lot of power lines in Southern California, high towers, a lot of communication infrastructure. So all those things happen to be, and they're out there at night, and they could be obscured from the smoke. They could be obscured from terrain, depending on how the aircraft comes into the incident. So there's all kinds of things that the aircraft and the pilots deal with just to even get to the drop location. And then you add the environmental factors into the conditions: smoke, heat, fire, turbulence, big, huge rotors and downdrafts with the air that's moving over the mountainous terrain and being funneled through the different canyons and over the top of the coastal ridges and then down to the oceans. Generally, the way the winds blow too, if their winds are really bad or the smoke's really bad on one side of the fire, we can move to a different side of the fire and continue the operation. So just because we can't work in one location due to winds or turbulence or hazards, we'll move to another location on the fire and continue the operation of the firefight.
This aircraft has the capability of carrying 1,000 gallons of water per drop. If it's a viable water source, we can be in and out of the water source within 45 seconds to a minute. We know we've been blessed with is a lot of our CAL FIRE aviation folks have come with prior experience from military or night vision, EMS, transport. So they're like, oh yeah, we used to do this in our old job, so let's just integrate this component of being able to see at night into our aircraft to come up with the policies and procedures and safety rules around it to make us safe. And we went forth and conquered. So
we have some thresholds where aircraft are going to be effective, as well as thresholds where aircraft can't even take off or start their engines based on the wind and the direction the aircraft's pointed. So without getting into the total technical pieces of it, basically anything over like 30 or 35 knots, the aircraft are generally going to be ineffective with their drops. The aircraft would have to offset multiple rotor distances, so anywhere from 50 to several hundred feet for their drop to actually get on location. They have to offset. The other part is like the turbulent air. So being low level, dropping water, you're less than 100 feet off the ground. So you have very minimal margin of error. If there's bad air or you get pushed by the wind or the aircraft has a malfunction in those kind of conditions, you're at max performance the entire time with the aircraft. Max performance, max power, everything's maxed out. So if anything goes wrong, you're at that very low level elevation that you don't have a lot of time to make things happen.
all the pilots in the air attack